It's your man Jam C,
It's your favorite Republican Lou.
and we back at it.
Yeah, we talking because we got lips.
That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we do.
We don't only use these lips for kissing and cooling off soup.
That's it.
We running our goddamn mouths.
Hey, listen, audience. I'm getting ready to put Republican Lou up against Bobby Flay. Bobby Flay, we coming for you. Republican Lou made some of the best baked ziti, and had all. I brought all my gang down here. You know, he had like 2 pans for us. Them just gone. They going back with us. We go back up top. But it was real. It was real. It was smacking.
Yeah,
I
I
get
gotta
it. It
take
was
half
smacking.
of it because I need to eat the rest of the week.
It
But
was
no,
smacking.
it was definitely my pleasure to do it. You know what I'm saying? And you get people and friends to come visit you, and especially they on the road and coming to see you, and at least you could do is have something hot waiting for them when they get
Absolutely.
here. You understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's well appreciated.
And that was my plan, to have something hot for them when they got here. So I appreciate the brothers visiting. We had a good day, even though it's a short visit.
Yeah.
But the ideal of it and the plan is people already planning the next one. You
That's it.
understand
Yeah,
what I'm
that
saying?
part. That part.
So that's a good thing, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, by me being where I'm at and I'm giving the outlet to those who may need it, people. And that's one thing I think that the brothers, not brothers, guys, they all need some type of outlet. And that's something that's lacking in today's society, where so much is putting on our heads, or so much responsibility
Yeah.
that is on our heads, and no one is giving us a reprieve. No one is giving us a moment to take it all in and say, nah, you know what? I need a break. You know what I'm saying? So my doors is open, and my door is open. My doors is open to my brothers. If y'all, whatever y'all going through up there, come on, man. Come on. I got you. I'm gonna hold you down. You know
Absolutely. And listen.
And I'm minutes away from everything.
Exactly. Listen, I come down here all the time just to exhale, because we get beat up out here in the world. People don't realize what men go through throughout the day. And I guess you never know, because we never talk about it.
Nah,
we never talk about it.
And that's so crazy that it's a perfect segue to what our topic is, and it's about relocating.
Yes. Yes.
And did I relocate for my boys? No, I didn't relocate for my boys, but it ends up being it's serving a dual purpose, because now my boys can come whenever they need to get away.
Yeah.
You understand? This location is disclosed, undisclosed location.
That's
ain't
it.
for everybody to know
That's
where
it.
it's at.
That's it. So
you know what I'm saying?
But
It's an undisclosed location, and if you know, you know.
You know.
I will leave it like that. But yeah, relocation. That's one of that's what we wanted to talk about. How easy? I mean, is it easy to relocate, or is it difficult to relocate? What do you guys think, right? And it's so many moving parts when it comes to relocating, right? Do I have a job? Where I'm gonna live? What about family that I'm leaving behind, and all those things you have to factor in, and even such as myself, I left a daughter. I left a daughter behind, as soon to be 15, and of course she needs her dad, and I ran it past her, like, and her thing was, all my friends is here, and your debit card work wherever the fuck you at. So I don't care for where you go, nigga.
That,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that part.
It's a phone call away, a FaceTime away, if I need you, or whatever. And she was peace with it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think she really was going too far away from my mother anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's her vacation home. She needs whenever
pretty much.
Getting ready for the summer,
pretty
vacation
much,
home and stuff like that. So now I think relocating wasn't a difficult decision for me, No, let me rephrase that. It was a difficult decision, and for someone to have faith and believing in the higher
Oh,
power,
absolutely.
I definitely had that discussion with the big homie. I
Absolutely.
even fasted. I did everything and just made sure that I'm moving according to his will and purpose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he gave the green light, and that's when I took off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, what about this? What about that? No, the big homie said go. That's your plug. You know what I'm saying? And luckily, as far as work, I work from home. I work remotely, and my company was fine, so I was able to take salary that I had and just came wherever, to my location,
Which is
so
great.
which was great, yeah,
Which is great.
within itself. And I think that's a hard thing to do when you're
Mm-hmm.
relocating. You have to find work, and depending where you're going, salaries are different for
Mm-hmm.
the type of work. It may be less, you may get more, you never know.
Absolutely.
And so the good thing is that I was able to relocate with the salary that I had. You know what I'm saying? So that decision for me wasn't. It was hard, but once I ran it past the big homie and he gave me the stamp, it was a no brainer at that point. I know that you often talk about relocating
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
the west,
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
west
Yeah,
coast.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's on the list of things to do. I think, I just gotta tie up some loose ends and, business wise, and yeah, your boy is where he need to be. I it takes it does take a bit of courage.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I promise you, if you focused on whatever your objectives are, it could be the best thing in your life. I think the thing that I guess it trips me out because I've never really had an intimate conversation with someone who's come back from something. Like when people leave, I often think, I'm gonna be honest with you, when people leave and relocate, I think that's the greatest thing. I've always admired that. Like, wow, they just picked up and left and went somewhere else and just started a whole new life. And that was to be admired and respected. And I always looked at that and said, yo, I wonder if I ever had the courage to do that, because we get so comfortable with our circle, we don't realize you can always build
Yeah.
circles everywhere, and then your
Yeah.
circle could come to you at any given time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so to go off and just build up, I think that's the best thing. It's just when they come back, I be kind of baffled.
Baffled.
Like,
Yeah.
why'd you come back? Like, you came back to this? It's like it's nothing here. It's been there, done that. Now it's time to build up. Cause trust me, I have friends that move. Other than Republican, I have friends that moved away, and I go visit, and it's like they never look back. They
Yeah.
never look back.
And keep in mind, this is my second time.
Yes, yes,
It's my
absolutely. It
second
is.
time.
Yes.
It's my
Yep.
second time relocating, and again I came back, and again it was probably like, and let's be clear, the first relocation I never had any intentions of ever coming back.
Yeah. I was
Never.
disappointed when you
Never,
came back.
never,
Yeah.
never, never any intentions on ever coming back. But I came back due to the birth of my daughter.
Yeah.
You
Which
know what
was
I'm
the right
saying?
thing to
And
do.
so I came back for that particular reason. And
But that was a purpose.
that was yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
was a
yeah,
purpose.
yeah. And definitely, definitely. And then so now that I did what I needed to do, not saying that my job is done with my kid, you know what I'm saying, but I did what I needed to do as far as raising her, being there for her,
Mm-hmm.
and she's of an age now that whereas though our conversations it could be us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to go through her mother to have
Yeah.
conversation. Even though me and her mom, we do have conversations, we do talk about the better of the good for the kid.
Mm-hmm.
For our kid. You know what I'm saying? But no, and I even had that conversation with her, and I says, "Yo, I got a situation here, and I gotta move around, and the stuff that I'm seeing here is it's costly. It's too costly. You understand what I'm saying? I've been, I'm, and this is my conversation. Like, yo, I gotta bust a move. You know, stuff up here is mad crazy, mad expensive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm open to relocating. And that was the conversation that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And I hadn't fully bought into relocating,
Mm-hmm.
but that was
It was on the agenda.
it was up there. If
Yeah.
it was a 1A and a 1B, you understand what I'm
got
saying?
you.
1A is finding something local, 1B is relocating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then 2 was I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a thing that had to have a conversation, which I did, and then having a group of friends and a group of brothers and having a circle that was supportive of the idea of relocating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you this, right? And the friends, some of them, this is their first time here, and I can even probably say this for yourself, that when you say you're moving somewhere, you're relocating, and people that are close and near and dear to you, they always want to make sure that you're okay and you're fine, and you're not putting yourself in a worse situation. And then it ain't until they come and put their eyes and see what you got going on, and then they can rest better. Like, my nigga good. You understand what I'm saying? My nigga gonna be all right. You understand what I'm saying?
Because
he not gonna be, he didn't put himself, he didn't jump out of the fire pan and into the fire. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
he's gonna be
let me
okay.
add to that though. But what you have to understand, what you probably but you may not know. You've always, from me knowing you, when you first moved and your first spot, it was always leveled up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So even when you had to come back, it was still leveled up. But when you move away, where it's a little bit more, I ain't gonna say more affordable, but it's just that the environment is better. The environment just a little bit better. You've people don't know this, but Republican Lou has always had a nice tight spot, always. So no matter where he goes, he always knows how, like, yo, this is it right here. So it's very motivating. Very motivating.
I know to tuck away. I know to tuck myself away.
Yeah, so
you know what I'm saying?
So that's motivation in itself. But to what we talking about today is people see that and be motivated and be afraid to go there. They'll look and be like, oh, this is dope. I could live in something like this. But they would never go abroad or go anywhere. They'll never pull the trigger on it because it'd be like, damn.
They'll find a million reasons
To stay.
not to go.
Yeah.
And let me just say this, and I'm gonna reverse it, go back a little bit. My first relocation was an impulsive. It was an impulsive decision, right? And it was a decision actually that was supposed to happen with me and someone that I was dating, and we were seriously dating. We were going to make that move together.
Okay.
But that relationship dissolved, and I continued forward with the mission. Right?
Okay.
And even though I continued with the mission, but I only did that out of hurt for that relationship
So
not
you was
working.
trying to get away.
So I was trying to get away.
And that was
right?
probably the best way for you at the time.
And it was just an emotional decision, and it wasn't well thought out of, because I had a couple dollars when I left, but going to that type of city, it was party, and I ran through that money like nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, but with the determination of, like, I'm not going back, so I had to do everything I could to make that shit. And that shit was bad. Like, working at that cigar shop, you know this, ironically, right? Working at that cigar shop, and I wasn't making no bread, no whip. I had nothing down there. I was down bad, but the determined, because what it was you get your close people to you, and they saying, like, you should have never took your ass down there anyway. Now you're down there down bad. You should have never left. And so that always played in my mind, like, I can't go back, because if I go back, I will prove them right, and then I will look like a failure. So it was always that motivating factor of, I can't go back. I gotta figure this out. It did. It did.
You know how many people that came back?
It really did.
And I was one, and I was the main one. Like, yo, don't come back, man. Don't come back.
It really did. And then, it gets. Don't get me wrong. It's just to anyone who relocates and who has the desire to do so, do it. It and I would be remiss if I didn't say this, that it does get lonely.
Yeah.
It does get lonely,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to be okay with who you are and okay with being by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And understanding that it ain't gonna always be like this,
No.
right? Because you think about it, right? As time went on, once I was there, right? Shit, I had enough people to move around with,
Yeah.
and you'd be like, "Damn, how long you been here?" Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
You so acclimated to this
Yeah.
shit. How long
Yeah.
you been here? You
Yes.
know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And it just as time goes on, you build relationships, you build friends, you build um, a network of people that then all of a sudden you exchange them for your immediate family, because now they become somewhat of your
Your
immediate
circle.
family.
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And so even with this relocation, the relocation now, it will start out of, but it's a family member that's here as well,
Mm-hmm.
so that makes it a
It's
little
a good
easier,
component.
a little
Yes.
a little easier.
Yes.
And I don't take that family member for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we've always had a great
Yeah.
relationship anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's a good thing. So that helped out a lot as
That
well.
definitely
You know what I'm
helps.
saying? But if you don't have that component of family there, it can still get done as long as you
Yeah.
have the understanding that I'm in this shit by
So
myself.
yeah.
But I know who I am as a person and an
Yeah.
individual. It ain't gonna take me long to navigate through this. Like,
Yeah.
it's just something about being from where we from that people tend to gravitate to
But let me
our
ask you. All right. Let me
personality and
ask you a
things like
question,
that.
because we talk about relocating and stuff like that.
Hmm.
What? Why this particular town in this particular state? If you don't mind telling everybody and myself, because that was
Well,
something that I wanted to know.
this particular state is because of the family, right?
Okay.
Because
Mm-hmm.
of the family that was here. And then when I was faced with the situation I was faced with back home prior to me, what prompted this whole relocation, um, it it just made sense in the sense of the cost of living.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I
It
got you.
afforded me a cost of living that was like, this is a no brainer right here.
Yeah.
It's definitely a no brainer,
Yeah.
considering, you know, where I'm coming from,
Mm-hmm.
and then I am taking my same salary, so
Yeah.
this is
You're good. Yeah.
it's a win-win for me in that respect. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
And city, this particular city was because of the little shopping area
Yeah. It's everything out here. Yeah.
that's like a
Yeah.
mile away. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that part, that's why it was the city, but the state itself was because the family that was here.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I'm saying?
I can attest to
Um,
that.
and did I ever think about going back to my first relocation?
Mm-hmm.
At one point, not I mean, prior to me coming here,
Yeah. Yes.
I thought about it a couple of times, and then going back to visit, I'm just like, yo, this place has gotten way too expensive to live here,
Yeah.
and it's gotten too saturated and too crowded. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Because it
And
becomes a hot spot for
that, yeah,
everybody. It's like
it
a
did.
lick.
It
Yeah.
really did. It
Yeah.
really did. And I was like, nah. So I don't want to plant my flag here again. I've
Okay.
been there and I didn't want to go. Even though I thought about it, I definitely did think about it. And going back into the same area and
Mm-hmm.
everything like that, that was definitely um, on the forefront of my mind. But then when I came and I proposed my current situation, post me pre me relocating, and then I told my family what happened and what was going on, what I was thinking about doing. It was like, that's a no brainer. We got you. Then we can't start looking around, looking at places.
And that's good.
And that's when I started looking at places. But one thing I did know when I told them that, because they did a little legwork for me,
Mm-hmm.
and so I said, just I want to go in that particular area, right? I want to go in that particular area because it's convenient,
Yeah.
right? And it's
No.
one
Yeah.
thing about when you living in a I want to say a metro city or a city itself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, city living, everything is convenient in the city living,
Absolutely.
as opposed to going into the country
Where it's
or
rural. Yeah.
more and more west where it could be
Yeah.
rural or some
Yeah.
shit like that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So that was something where I couldn't compromise that. I needed
Okay.
something that was convenient. You know,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
things were convenient for me, and I found that. I found that here, and like I said, when the bros came and the bros was like, yo,
This
son,
is up.
you caught that, you
Yeah. It's
caught
up.
this, you
It's
caught
up.
this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they like, yo, how can I get mail in this motherfucker? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Niggas
Yeah.
is like, yo, you caught that. You know what I'm saying? So it worked. It worked. And another thing too, when you relocate, every people have other agendas of why they want to relocate, and
Mm-hmm.
I never had the intentions of, oh, I'm gonna go down here and I'm gonna burn this bitch down. I'm out every weekend. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do that. That wasn't my train
Yeah.
of thought. My train of thought was keeping it smooth, keeping it cool, just chilling,
It
relaxing,
reflects who you are.
just
Yeah, it's a
relaxing. Yeah,
reflection of who you
yeah,
are. That
yeah.
I think wherever you live at should be a reflection of who you are or who you become or who you're trying to become.
Mm-hmm.
I think, which is the reason why I'm gonna go out west within the next 2 or 3 years. So because the where I plan on moving to is a reflection of who I am now, and I'm bettering to become the better me.
Or what you envision,
Yes, of to be.
what you envision,
Absolutely.
what's your
So,
future
and
to
I
be
and I
like.
think you should, and in that space, I do have somewhat of a support system because I have a brotherhood friend, who I go visit, I speak to often, and to your point, is actually took me around, let me see a few places, and stuff like that. So, but I think again, you move on to move up. I
Is it
always say
expensive?
it's actually a little less than where we at now. It's a little less, but the amenities is better. See, for
But
like, let's look at what one of our guys living in your old town, like for what he pays, he gets so much more because it's the setting is like this, but it's like it's more like a resort. It looks like a resort.
where you planning on going?
Something like that, yeah, something like that, and it's probably less than him, and it can vary. So it's definitely affordable. It's definitely affordable, but the amenities you can't beat. So when you look at where I'm from, you wouldn't get those amenities. You
Not for that
wouldn't.
number.
No, not at all. So there you get all those amenities plus.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the go to, and then you live with the nice weather, the good people, the food is
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, the food is amazing. The best thing about moving on, I say this to people, especially if you building up, it has to be a place where the networking pool. If you're a person like me, I like to meet people. I like to meet new people of all walks of life. I've ate at some of the best restaurants. I've met some of the most beautiful people. Um, and if I feel like being bothered, I can be bothered. If I don't feel like being bothered, I could stay in my little cone, and I'm good.
Nah, I
And I
think
love mountains, so I'm around mountains all day.
I think for me in this space that I am now, and people ask me all the time, did you meet people? Did you meet your neighbors? Did you go out? Did you? And I say to myself, if this is where I'm gonna live for the rest of my life, and I only been here X amount of time, I got nothing but time to see all those
Yeah,
places. I got
yeah,
nothing but time to meet people. You
yes,
understand what I'm saying? Like, and then and then you still have to. For me, it's just still kind of fresh, as far as the relocating and just getting back on track financially.
yeah.
Because when you move, you got so much stuff that you need to do, so much stuff you got to add, so much stuff you need to do.
And you haven't
You know
been
what I'm
here
saying?
long.
You
Yeah,
haven't been, so you need to financially get a steady pace. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'm just now coming around to that financial aspect of it, where
yes.
I'm getting that steady pace. Um, I mean, literally, just like a week or two
Because
away
that's
from
something
that.
people need to
You know what I'm
know when
saying?
relocating. It's not like you. It's not like you come from where you come from. So now, just because it may be greener here, doesn't mean you hit the ground and you start just like where you left off at. No, you have to
No,
now. It's start. It's
no, it
that.
didn't.
That's
It
why it's
didn't
called
work like
starting
that.
over.
No, it didn't work. It didn't work like that. You know what? You know it didn't. No, it didn't work like that. And I'm the type of person that I'm not gonna spend money and buy things just because I want them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a need for me now. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm past that stage of
Mm-hmm.
just buying stuff because I want it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like even I was thinking about those Meta glasses, and my sister-in-law she has those Meta glasses, and I was like, wow, those is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And entertained the thought for a minute, and then reality kicked in. Like, do I need them? Like, no, I don't need them.
No.
Now, unless I get an eye exam and they be like, "Yo,
You need
son, you
glasses. Yeah.
need some glasses."
Glasses.
You know what I'm
Then
saying?
yeah. Then it's what. Yeah.
I may invest in something like that.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Then I may invest in something like that. But just to have them, just to say that, oh, I got them because they new and it's the newest
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
out. I'm
It's not
past that
something. Yeah.
stage. I'm past
Yeah.
that stage in
Yeah.
my life. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I try to live a very minimalist lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the reality of what of a minimal lifestyle is that I don't have a junk drawer.
Yeah. Got you.
Everybody has a junk drawer.
Yeah.
If it's junk, why do you need
Need
it?
it. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I try to have a very minimum lifestyle. I don't need sneaker boxes from the floor to the ceiling.
But here's the thing,
I don't
though.
need that.
Here's the thing, though, Lou, and that's the good point. You're basically what you're saying. Basically, we don't need all that stuff even where we are. I think the it's all this shit is smoke and mirrors. You know, is we only want these things because where we live at, we see it. You
Right.
see it all the time. But you're so far removed from all of that. But you live in a very damn good environment. You know what I'm saying? If I must say so myself. So it's almost like out of sight, out of mind. If
Yeah.
you don't see that stuff, you don't need it. But you living like it. You get what I'm saying?
I think too. Another thing too is if you had a background and you had a name for yourself, and people always saw you as a particular in a particular
Way.
light,
Yeah.
then they always will see you that way, right?
Yeah.
And that comes from the environment that you're in, right?
Yes. Yes.
But the good thing and the plus about relocating, you don't have to hold up that image
At
anymore
all.
because they don't know you as
Exactly.
that. They know you as what they see you as
Exactly.
now. They don't know your history, they don't know your background.
Exactly.
And so if I wanted to come outside with a Yeezy on, one Yeezy and one Air Force One, two different pair of sneakers,
Yeah.
right? And they mismatch. Somebody that don't know me here will just be think, oh, it's just got on
It wouldn't make
mismatched
no
stuff.
difference.
Wouldn't
And
make
it
no
would,
difference.
and it wouldn't make no difference to you at all because
Wouldn't
they
make no
don't know
difference.
you.
They don't know
them.
me, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to if I went up to where my surroundings and where I'm known at, and I did something like that, motherfucker be like, yo, that nigga getting high. That
Yeah.
nigga
Yeah.
done lost his rocker. That nigga
Yeah.
needs to lay on somebody's couch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or that nigga trying to do a fashion statement and it just ain't hitting. You understand what I'm saying?
So some people get stuck in that. They don't want
Yeah.
to leave because they don't want people to not see them.
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
but when you move on, we all live in a life. So you don't live your life for other people. You live your life for you and what you see your life becoming. I think the best thing sometimes for me is to go somewhere else, meet a new start over,
No,
build
definitely,
up,
definitely.
improve on yourself. Sometimes we stay in an area and we have all these dreams and all these dreams we want to do, but it's usually our fear because we don't want to be judged by our peers. So if that's the case, move somewhere else where nobody know you and start doing your dream. Whatever your dream is, start building up on your dream. Cause nobody in wherever else you go, nobody know you there.
Mm-mm.
So if your dream was always to whether open up a restaurant or and you feel like people where you live are gonna judge you, go someplace else where nobody know you and start that restaurant. Start cooking in your kitchen and selling food, whatever it is you want to do. I just, because again, I'm fortunate enough that I do see a lot of our friends or people that we grew up with that did go to places, never came back, and they built up, and they again, they never came back. So my assumption is they love it where they are. They created a life for themselves, and they still there. And it's always good to see them when they come back home and visit. So it's always good to come see my brother down here and see that he's always been good with wherever he lived, and he's been blessed, and thank God to that. And he always had a good support system. Thank God for that.
And I think that when it's a fresh start, when you're doing a restart and a fresh start, it means an overhaul of everything,
Yes.
right? So you restarting what your reputation would be. You
Mm-hmm.
restarting uh, who you are,
Mm-hmm.
because guess what? Once you come to a new location that you don't know anyone there but a few people, then you become more in tune with who you are and what it is that you need to grow,
Mm-hmm.
and you start doing this self-reflection, and it only builds you up and builds your character
Mm-hmm.
to be better. And then another thing is how you build character is, one, going through adversity, two, some self-reflecting,
Mm-hmm.
and three, understanding things that you don't like about yourself, and you start changing those things.
Yeah.
And you couldn't do that if you stayed in the same environment, because it
No. It's
doesn't give you a different perspective
yeah.
on how to see things or how to see life.
Yeah.
And so by relocating, it does give you an option to give yourself a different perspective on how you see things.
Because the biggest thing with us is we too focusing on what other people think about us.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get outside of that, you only should be focusing on you at that point because nobody know you.
Think about it like this, right? A lot of times with women, they may go on vacation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll take a two-piece bathing suit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because guess
Mm-hmm.
what? They be like, these people ain't
I
gonna
don't
never
know me,
see me
so they don't
again.
care.
They
Yeah,
ain't gonna
you're
never
right.
see me again.
Exactly.
But if they went to a pool party where they're from, they would never wear that
Yeah.
two-piece because they know everybody
Not
there.
without a
You know what I'm
cover
saying?
up. Yeah. Because if they did, they had a cover up. They never take the cover up
But
off.
there you go.
But if they go someplace else, they got the thong on because I don't know none of these people. They ain't never gonna
Right,
see me no
there
more.
you
So they
go.
can so they actually living their best life around strangers.
They live
But
it authentically
yeah,
because
yeah,
that's how they
yeah,
wanted to do
yeah,
it
exactly.
anyway.
But when they home, they too fearful of being judged. When they should be like that, 360.
Agreed. So I think my advice to anyone who wants to do it, consult with your higher power,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to leave people behind.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid to challenge yourself and grow. Willing to grow. You gotta want to grow. Don't be afraid to do it, because once you gather your thoughts and get somewhere else that's peaceful and get your understanding of what's going on with you as an individual, all you can do is just be better.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Be better. Don't be afraid to be by yourself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't need that energy of people to just be around you that ain't gonna give you good advice, sound
Yeah.
advice anyway. They're just only gonna tell you what you need to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
And the only person that can correct you is you.
That's it.
So you get to know you better and you just become a better you. That's it.
Yeah. My advice I would give it if for anybody if you thinking about relocating, I would say do this. Like let's just like getting in the water. Put your toe in the water.
That's it.
Go visit the landscape. If you have multiple cities or multiple states, go visit these places. You don't have to. And it's not something that you got to rush into if you're not sure. But if you are certain you want to, but you might not be sure of the time when. I recommend going to visit those places maybe more than once, and
Mm-hmm.
learn the landscape, learn some of the language, look at the foods, or get some ideas on which areas you would like to relocate to. And if your job is offering where you could transfer, because in some of these companies you could transfer
Yeah,
some of these places.
definitely.
So if your job has a transfer, you actually could go right into it, and in most cases you keep your same salary from where you at locally. So and if the salary is more where you moving to, you get an upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Because they meet you there. So I would I say that's the best thing, because at some point you age out of your community, and I would like, and I call these deadbeat communities, especially if you outgrown it. Don't be afraid, and to lose point. Sometimes don't be afraid to be by yourself, because you find the greater you sometimes when it's just you.
No, you will find the greater
Yes.
you. You will. You'll find the ugly part of you, and then
Yes.
you'll want to fix that.
Yes.
I just think that relocating is definitely, if it's something you want to do it. I remember something that kind of stuck out to me on my first relocation is you meet people, or you met people, if you heard people who you hear people and they're telling their story. When I used to live here, I used to live here, I used to live here, and I used to say to them, dang, all I got is a Jersey. I've only been in Jersey. I mean, I visit other places,
Yeah.
but have I ever lived in other
Yeah.
places? And I never did. So now I can say, oh, I've lived here, I
Yeah.
lived there. You
Yeah.
understand? When I lived there, whatever. And I always
And
wanted
that's a
that.
legacy.
I always wanted that. I
Yeah.
did. I
That's a
always wanted
legacy.
that.
That's a legacy.
Mm.
That's a legacy. And listen, I don't have to get your shit together other than to tell you, if it's don't only thing that can stop you is you. Nothing can stop you. Pray to the highest power, talk to the big bro upstairs, and let him advise you on where you go and how you go about doing that.
Right. I think,
But just know it's you and the higher power. That is your support system when you get to where you going.
and my get your shit together is, if anybody living in fear, you gotta run to it. You
Absolutely.
gotta run to your fear. If your fear is you're scared to relocate because you're gonna leave your kids behind, you're gonna leave your parents behind, you're gonna leave whatever. Just think about it like this: everybody is a FaceTime away, a plane ride away,
Mm-hmm.
or hell, jump in your car and 8 hours away. You understand
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if you got fear, get your shit together, overcome that fear, and be the best version of you. Because at the end of the day, you gotta live with you.
It's your life,
It's your life.
and don't worry about, and it's just in closing, quit worrying about other people judging you. Only what you think matters. Not what other people think, it's what you think. So, and don't let people's judgment of you sway what you think about you.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think, and I have to say this because I have friends who have parents. I look at, and again, I'll say that I'm gonna be quick. Republican has a young child, but he still had courage enough to have the discussion with her, move on, and still be a parent.
And
And
got her blessing.
yes, and still as an active parent. Think about some of your greatest. That's something that Kevin Hart did. Kevin Hart said, in order for him to be successful, he had to talk to his kids, step away, do what he did, and now he gets to spend those most wanted times with his children. But that took courage to walk away, because a lot of us won't do that out of fear. But understand, your kid is still going to live life and not miss a beat with you.
And think about this. One last point. Sometimes when you do things and you outset goals and you want to accomplish things, there's a sacrifice that has to be made.
Yes.
And even if it's going back to school to get a degree or better yourself in your career, some people gonna fall by the wayside, and 9 times out of 10, your kids is probably the ones who gonna feel it, because you had to make a sacrifice to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to make that sacrifice.
Yes. Yes.
For yourself. You sacrifice. You're investing in you. So the best thing you could do is just keep investing in
And
you.
you. Yes. And everything will work itself out from that. And on that note, it's your man Jam C.
It's your favorite Republican.
And we going vocal. Peace.
Peace.
Everybody tune into the Pod Squad now.